It's the night of March 27, 1999. A violent storm brews over the dark skies of Serbia as an aircraft unlike any other cuts through the clouds. It's an F-117 Nighthawk, one of the most secretive aircraft ever built, a flying blade of black angles and silence. At the controls sits Lieutenant Colonel Daryl Zelko, a seasoned U.S. Air Force pilot, preparing for what should have been another successful mission during the NATO bombing campaign over Yugoslavia. His target tonight, the command center of the Serbian Air Force in Belgrade, the nerve hub directing enemy air defenses. Destroying it would cripple Serbian coordination. But to reach it, Zelko must cross one of the most heavily defended skies in Europe. He isn't flying alone. At first, 2 F-16 Vipers accompany him, each armed with radar-homing missiles designed to take out any enemy radar that dares to lock onto them. Their job is simple: keep the Nighthawk invisible. But nature has other plans. As the formation approaches the Serbian border, radio chatter crackles in Zelko's headset. "This is Joint Forces Command. Return to base immediately. Weather's too severe." His escorts peel off into the clouds, leaving him completely alone. From this moment on, if he's spotted, he's finished. Zelko steadies his breathing and checks his instruments. His stealth fighter, shaped like a faceted diamond, is designed to be undetectable. On radar, the 65-foot jet appears no larger than a tennis ball. So far, the F-117 has flown dozens of missions with total impunity, slipping through enemy defenses, striking targets and vanishing into the night. That is, until tonight. Far below, hidden in the muddy countryside outside Belgrade, a Serbian air defense unit waits in the dark. The unit is commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Zoltan Dani, a clever and disciplined officer of the 3rd Missile Battalion. He knows the Americans are coming. Serbian intelligence agents have warned him of an incoming strike. To Dani, this is the chance of a lifetime. The chance to bring down one of NATO's ghost planes. He gives the order: activate the radar. Sweep the skies. The crew powers up their P-18 early warning radar, an old Soviet system from the Cold War. It's ancient technology, but Dani has a theory. He believes that at its lowest frequency, the radar might be able to detect the stealth jets that normally evade modern systems. The green display flickers to life. Immediately, the screen fills with static, clouds, rain, and false echoes. The storm above turns the radar into a blur of meaningless dots. Then one operator squints and leans closer. Among the noise, a single faint return moves slowly across the screen. "I see it," he whispers. One tiny blip cutting a straight line through the chaos. Dani's eyes narrow. "That's him," he says quietly. "The ghost." He orders the targeting radar to power up. The operators rush to comply, but the system struggles to lock onto the distant contact. For now, they can only watch and wait. High above, Zelko's aircraft races toward Belgrade. The Nighthawk's computer begins the automatic bombing sequence. Target coordinates confirmed. Weapons ready. He opens the bomb bay doors. For a split second, the aircraft's sleek radar profile changes, exposing reflective surfaces that the enemy can detect. And at that exact moment, the Serbs see him. "I have a signal," an operator shouts. "Tracking target, Phi-2 locked." Dani doesn't hesitate. "Launch!" 2 SA-3 surface-to-air missiles roar from their launch tubes, leaving twin plumes of fire against the night. The Nighthawk's stealth cloak has been pierced. Zelko releases his payload, precision-guided bombs that strike the target below, and begins his climb homeward. He's only seconds from safety when a high-pitched alarm suddenly screams inside the cockpit. "Lock alert." The radar warning receiver flashes red. He glances outside. 2 fiery trails slicing up through the clouds toward him. "They've got a lock," he mutters. He jerks the stick hard left, climbing steeply to evade. The G-forces slam him into his seat. But there's a problem. The F-117 carries no radar jammers, no flares, no chaff. If a missile locks on, survival depends entirely on the pilot's reflexes. The first missile streaks past his canopy and disappears into the darkness, a near miss. The second, however, detonates close by. A thunderous explosion tears through the night sky. The missile's proximity fuse sprays the left wing with shrapnel. Panels rip apart, flames burst out, and the once silent aircraft becomes a spiraling fireball. Zelko feels the jet shudder violently. Warning lights flash like strobe lights inside the cockpit. He's thrown around as the plane spins out of control. The horizon becomes a blur of fire and blackness. At 6 kilometers above ground, he realizes the Nighthawk is dying. Eject, he tells himself through clenched teeth, but the G-forces pin him down, nearly 7 times his own body weight. His arms feel like they each weigh 100 pounds. He fights to reach the handles between his legs. Finally, with a burst of adrenaline, he pulls. An explosive charge blasts the canopy away, and the ejection seat rockets into the cold night air. For a brief, disorienting moment, Željko can't tell if he's free or still trapped inside the plane. Then, the parachute opens with a violent snap. He looks up. Above him, the once mighty stealth bomber spirals downward, burning until it vanishes behind a distant ridge. Silence. He's alive. Barely. As he floats downward, the absurdity of the moment hits him. Mom's not going to be happy about this, he mutters to himself. He touches down in a field outside a small Serbian village. It's pitch dark and raining. He unclips his harness, grabs his survival gear, and runs for cover. In the distance, he can already hear trucks, dogs, and shouts. The search has begun. Željko crawls into a muddy ditch and smears dirt over his uniform to blend with the earth. He knows capture could mean torture, or worse. As dawn approaches, the news spreads quickly. Serbian soldiers, police, and even civilians join the hunt. Flashlights sweep across fields. Dogs bark in the distance. At one point, Željko hears rustling just meters away. He holds his breath. A snuffling sound of a dog. Slowly, he draws his survival knife, hands trembling. Should he kill it before it alerts someone? He hesitates. If he attacks, the handler will notice immediately. He waits motionless. The dog sniffs the edge of the ditch, then miraculously turns away and trots off. Željko exhales in relief. Hours crawl by. He stays perfectly still, soaked and shivering. Then, a sound breaks through the static on his radio. Vega 31, this is Sandy 01, over. Željko's heart nearly stops. They found him. He raises the mic. Sandy 01, Vega 31, I read you, the voice replies. Vega 31, is it clear for us to come in? Željko doesn't answer right away. He peeks above the ditch. Flashlights still dance in the distance. He whispers, yeah, go for it. He activates his infrared strobe, the signal for friendly aircraft to locate him, but nothing happens. The light fails. Cursing under his breath, he fumbles for his backup flare. It's bright, too bright, but he's out of time. He fires it. A brilliant white flame floods the area with light. Instantly, searchlights swing toward him, and so does the rescue helicopter. The pilot radios. We see your position. Snuff that flare. It's blinding our night vision. Željko grabs the flare and jams it into the mud to kill the light. The helicopter swoops down, rotors chopping the air, dust and debris blasting everywhere. 2 para-rescue jumpers rush out, weapons ready. Sir, are you hurt? One shouts over the noise. Not a scratch, Željko yells back. Let's get out of here. Within seconds, they're airborne again, racing westward, just as enemy patrols converge on the landing site below. By dawn, news spreads across the world. A stealth aircraft, the supposedly invisible F-117, has been shot down. It's the first and only time a stealth jet has ever been destroyed in combat. On the ground, Lieutenant Colonel Zoltan Dani and his crew celebrate. When asked later how it felt, he simply said, when it hit, it was like scoring the winning goal in football. The wreckage of the Nighthawk is soon recovered by the Serbs. Despite American hopes to destroy it from the air, the remains are transported intact to Belgrade's Museum of Aviation, where fragments of the jet are still displayed today, blackened, jagged, and silent reminders of the night stealth was defeated. As for Željko, he never forgot the experience, nor the man who shot him down. Years later, in 2011, he finally met Zoltan Dani face to face. The two shook hands, not as enemies, but as soldiers who had shared a unique moment in history. For both men, the encounter closed a chapter that had defined their lives. One had risked everything to survive. The other had achieved the impossible, bringing down an aircraft the world believed couldn't be touched, and so ended one of the most remarkable stories of the late 20th century. The night when a ghost was finally seen.